testing 1 2 3. Test 1 from Cleveland. Testing. Checking, testing 1 2 3. Test 1 2 3. recollects. This one in now. Boy, stop! The speed. He's got Dawson inside. Puts it back post. Now there's Auld up and in! It still loose inside the box. Now a rear end up and in! Collect down by the inlet. Slot goes across. Oh, right to Clemenson. Clemenson left foot. Oh, what a foot save. Shot by Mimi. Saved by Alvarado. Another loose ball and in! Ortega gets a head on it. Ball just kind of settles down. Now look at this. Pearson will fire one and a great save. Boystow puts one right on and in! Upper 90 from Jonah Boystow. Fantastic ball for Al Rashid in! Al Rashid, he'll put it inside the box and in! Claypier from Henry, it's 4-3! Hello, everybody, and welcome into Krensler Stadium on the campus of Cleveland State University. It is a UPSL quarterfinal matchup. It is the last matchup here, making its way into the national semifinals here in just 2 weeks. And Dan, we've got a good matchup here today as both teams come in undefeated on the year. 15-0 are the New York Renegades all the way from Hicksville, and you've got 13-0-1 in Rochester, New York, meeting here in downtown Cleveland.
Both these teams have scored a lot of goals. They haven't conceded much as well, so we're expecting a very tight game here this afternoon. Again, both teams undefeated, having perhaps the best teams they've ever had in their program's history. So close to 400 teams began back in the spring. We're down to the final 8 today, and after tonight, the Final Four table will be set.
We are cramped in here at the press box at Cleveland State. It's a very intimate press box here, Dan, but we are excited for this matchup. Let's take a look here at the visitors. And the visitors here today, Dan, they travel. Both teams are from New York, but we'll talk here about the Rochester, New York side from Western New York Conference. They finished first in the division. They went 9-0-1 in league play, and they beat Detroit United 4-1 here last week to punch their ticket to this matchup here. Hey, they're 13-0-1. They've scored 40 goals this season, allowed 12, plus 20 in goal differential, and they have 5 shutouts.
Yeah, just a great season overall. You want to be playing your best season entering the postseason. Both these teams have been able to do that.
That they have. Well, they'll take a look at the home side here. And they play in the North American Conference. The Renegades FC, they're getting from Hicksville, New York. They finished, obviously, first in their division. They went 10-0 in league play. They beat Virginia Dream here last week, 4-3. They scored 63 goals this season, 18 goals against, plus 45, 6 shutouts along the way. Let's take a look here now at the UPSL bracket. There it is on your screen again, how the Renegades got here. You can see there how Rochester, New York got here as well. Again, both these teams looking to punch their ticket into the semifinals here starting on August the 9th at Highmark Stadium in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, last year we had the pleasure of broadcasting the Final Four for the UPSL in Leesburg, Virginia. This year it's in the Pittsburgh metropolitan area. But we expect to see 4 very good teams here in 2 weeks in the UPSL Final Four.
That we are. We are about 10 minutes or so from getting this game underway here from Krensler Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio. Don't go anywhere. We come back here. We'll have starting 11s for both sides. We'll have coin toss, national anthem, the walkout, and your first half kick all coming up next right here on the UPSL YouTube channel. Now Worrell has a good cutback from him. He'll fire one, and that's going to go in. Granite City Food and Brewery has 2 Michigan locations in Troy and Northville. Serves made-from-scratch food, brews in-house beer, and even has brunch every Sunday from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. To learn more about their daily specials or to book a private party, visit gcfb.com. Make sure you head over to Granite City in Northville at the corner of 7 Mile and Haggerty, or the Troy location at 16 Mile and I-75. Are you looking to play at the next level? MSN is now offering player recruitment videos.
Network, we are excited to partner with you and your family in getting you to the next level. To learn more about our packages and what we offer, head over to the MichiganSoccerNetwork.com. Remember, your journey starts with a click.
What rhymes with great?
Participate.
Where does greatness start? Here, in the classroom. On the diamond.
In the pool. On the field.
Where will your greatness take you?
To better grades.
To more friends.
Yeah! Be great. Participate!
Are you looking to take your game to the next level? Did you know that MSN is now offering player recruitment videos? Our packages include a player profile where you show your preferred positions, the club, the league, or school that you play in, your current coach contact information, and more. The highlight videos could be self-submitted, 15 to 30 clips that will be put into a 3 to 7 minute long video. Video review of your Huddle, VO, or other platforms that you might have video on, as well as for an additional charge, MSN can come out and film games for you to create those clips. Our coach evaluation process, which is also an additional charge, where we have college coaches from various levels across the United States that will review your game film and provide feedback on how to improve that film, as well as also evaluating your play and what you can improve on. To learn more about our packages and what we offer, head over to the MichiganSoccerNetwork.com. Remember, your journey starts with a click.
I'm a husband. I'm a father.
I'm a sister.
I'm a son. I'm a brother.
I'm a daughter. I'm a sister. I'm a referee.
I'm a referee.
I am a referee.
I'm a referee.
Welcome back here into Krensler Field, campus of Cleveland State University. Jonathan Turner alongside Dan Stickrat. Excited to have you along here tonight, wherever you're watching near and far. It is a UPSL quarterfinal matchup, a chance here for either of these teams to punch their ticket into the national semifinals taking place in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania here August the 9th, and a chance to play in a national championship on August the 11th. And again, these two teams coming in, both teams undefeated throughout their league play and obviously in the playoffs as well. Let's take a look here at the away starters here. Rochester FC tonight is your away side, and starting in goal is Parker Kump. You've got Kyle Pollard, Zach Prayer, Quinn Alcott, AJ Zarcone, Tanner Bay, Aiden Burke, Tyler Moran, Jamison Rayleigh, Galati Mata, and Eli Sidibe are all in the 11 here tonight. They're playing a 4-4-2 3-3. And then the Renegades out of the North American. And again, the Renegades in goal here tonight. Elias David Fontalvo, Kilmar Campos, Cesar Asaguera, Matthew Carriel, Angelo Quintanilli, Javier Flores, Kevin Shannon. Sorry, not Kevin Shannon's actually in goal, I apologize. Jose Najera, Milton Campos, Rodriguez Descalzo, and Javan Wa are all in the 11 here tonight for the Renegades. It is a beautiful day. It is 87 degrees. It is muggy here in Cleveland. Had a chance when we came into town, Dan, to take a look at Lake Erie, which is just off about, I can't say yards, a half mile.
Yeah, about a half mile.
About a half mile.
Very short distance. We do get a little bit of a breeze coming through some of the buildings here on occasion to cool it off in the press box, but it is hot, it is muggy. Here in the city by the lake.
In the city by the lake, where the Cleveland Guardians call home, Cleveland Cavaliers. You've got the Cleveland Browns all calling home right here in downtown Cleveland.
All those stadiums are less than a mile away from where we're at right now.
That they are, as again, we are just a moments away from getting things underway. There is no national anthem as far as I know. Again, nothing up here in the press box. So, and we are currently have taken over the entire press box.
It's not very big to take over,
but either way, it is a great day for win or go home soccer. If you're watching here for the first time on the UPSL YouTube channel, hit the subscribe button, like us, and share this with your friends and family. Hey, and don't forget, we encourage participation from you, the viewer, while watching these games. So let us know who you're rooting for, where you're watching from, and all the above. As we always ask, is keep it clean. As both teams are making their way out of their respective locker rooms here at Krensler Stadium. And Dan and I, and our crew drove up here this morning from Michigan. We are the Michigan Soccer Network production company here for the UPSL and this quarterfinal matchup here in Cleveland, Ohio. And, Dan, it's about a 2 hour and 47-minute drive from Michigan. Had a chance to take the 280, which is the turnpike here in Ohio. Stop off and get some food along the way. I haven't had a Hardee's sandwich. I can't think of the last time I had one.
It would be about 20 years for me at least. So.
But we had a chance stopped in. Hardee's was really the only option along with Marco's Pizza. But I had a Hardee's. We'll make a better food choice on the way back. But either way, we're excited here today to bring this coverage to you here from Cleveland, Ohio, and Krensler Stadium. This is the home of Cleveland State and the Vikings, who call their league home the Horizon League, which is, Dan, and we talk about this a lot. I'm a staff broadcaster at Oak University, so typically I'm calling Cleveland State either in basketball, volleyball, soccer from the home side at Oakland and back in Rochester, Michigan, Auburn Hills, Michigan. So it's interesting to be able to come out here and call a game on the campus of Cleveland State and the Vikings.
First time I've been to a soccer match here in downtown Cleveland. And we're expecting a great match. Both these teams are combined 28-0-1 in the 2024 summer campaign. So it began back in late April, early May. Close to 400 teams from across the country began their seasons in various divisions and conferences. And the final 8 across these beautiful United States are here this weekend. So the final 4 bracket will be set late tonight. We have the pleasure of broadcasting this game here less than a mile east of downtown Cleveland.
Again, I don't believe that we will have a national anthem here today, but your match officials here today, Matt Fatia is your center referee, James Dooling, Christian Hendricks, and Jeff Chop is your 4th official. I know they're maybe looking for that, but either way. Moments away here, Dan, from getting things underway. Get your predictions in. We had our first comment coming here a moment ago. Alex Pompo, let's go Big 12, OJ.
There's a slight breeze going to the South and southeast. Again, we're less than a mile off the coastline of Lake Erie. We do have all the high rises of downtown just to the west here of the Cleveland State Stadium. So slight breeze, but temperatures on the turf here at Cleveland State are in the 90s and somewhat muggy here in Cleveland.
Captains are doing their coin toss here right now and selecting sides. You know, being that there's not much of a wind, if any wind. You mentioned, Dan, you mentioned the direction already. And you know, sometimes that is obviously a point of contention or a situation where, you know, you're going to try and maybe select the wind for the second half, depending upon the circumstances. Maybe you want to come out of the gate fast. There's not a wind, if any, here. That would be a factor. So I'm not sure how much which side is important here on this afternoon.
Yeah, some of the buildings between here and the coastline block that breeze. So it's insignificant in terms of affecting the style of play on the pitch here at Cleveland State. So we're just less than 2 minutes from kickoff. Both teams have done their walkout and they're trotting off their various spots on the pitch.
Again, get your comments in here now and throughout this game. If you think who you think is going to win this game, put it in the comments as well. Just like a lot of situations when we start talking about the UPSL and a lot of these teams, they're finalizing their rosters, usually moments before a game. We were given information here late last night and early this morning, so we do have limited information on the team, so you might know more than we do, which is totally fine.
Two great offenses playing here today. See, two teams have combined for 103 goals over the course of the last 3 months. Combined 11 shutouts, 6 for the New York Renegades and 5 for Rochester FC. Both teams have conceded a combined 33 goals over the last 3+ months. So both teams have explosive offenses, have not conceded a ton of goals overall this deep into the season. But the journey is long. Again, close to 400 teams across the country. You have to win quite a few postseason games just to get to the Elite Eight, which is various sites across the country today. The Final Four will be in 2 weekends. Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
In Rochester tonight will be in their white and green kits here. They have the kickoff, and we are underway here from Krensler Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio. Jonathan Turner alongside Dan Stickrat. Excited to have you joining us here for this quarterfinal matchup, a chance to punch your ticket into the national semifinals. Rochester in the green and white kits. They are going left to right on your screen, and the Renegades in the orange and blue kits going right to left. Ball settled down on that far side. It shifted. It will stay on that far side. Loose ball. Now played back. Now on this near side. Good ball here into Burke. Now ball up this near side, looking for Pollard. He'll try and track it down, but getting there first is Waugh. He'll go out for the first. Goal kick here of the afternoon. All played back. First touch of the day here for Kevin Shannon. Up that far side. Here come the Renegades. Ball played top of the 18, looking for Najera, and that is cleared away. And now shifting around through the midfield, Campos. Now they'll cycle it back. And Wah. Segura. Meha. Good ball from Najera, looking to go over the top. That's broken up, but he'll win it back. Now Rayleigh. He played back now defensively, and we'll look to build this side of the back here for Rochester. So they'll build up on that far side. Each team has 18 players that can participate in today's game. 11 starters and 7 subs. In fact, at the top of your screen there, you'll actually see under our scoreboard, there are 7 spots. Every time a substitution happens today, we'll be able to acknowledge that and mark them off as this ball is played up, and that's picked up by the goalkeeper and Kevin Shannon. So far, Dan, here in the early going, kind of what you would expect in a quarterfinal match. Both these teams here are going to play at times very conservatively, and I would imagine this thing wouldn't really open up here for 10 or 15 more minutes.
Both teams are kind of in that feeling out stage. There's been no shot attempts or corners or anything here in the waning of the opening minutes. Both teams just knocking the ball around, looking for seams in the opposing side's defense. But to be undefeated at this stage of the game shows that both teams know how to win.
Well, this might go out for the first quarter. No, they're going to say out for a goal kick. So last touched off of Rochester.
Again, the New York Renegades 15-0-0 on the season, and Rochester SC came in 13-0-1, so 28-0-1 combined.
Up that far side, here come the Renegades, looking to put this one into the box. Back post, just past Jose Meja. He was there at the back post. Now played inside. Najera. Campos. It's broken up. One back by Campos. Good switch. Segura looks to go up that middle. Oh, it's off the chest of Descalzo. Coming into this game, 11 goals on the season here for the Renegades. The leading scorer, though, Renaud Rancis, who's not in the lineup. He had 20 goals here this season. Did not make the trip. All played up towards midfield, and that's one back by the Renegades, and now Campos. Played inside. Carriel, and that's one back now by Rochester. Rochester now go through the seam, but nobody there. I think the intended target might have been Burke, but not read well. Switch back to this near side, and Segura. Waugh. It was Kilmar Campos who looked to thread that needle and knocked out.
So we're into the 7th minute of action here at Cleveland State. No score, no shots or corners for either team. Both sides have been trading off possession.
One back by the Renegades. It settled down by Najera. As this one pushed out wide on that far side. Good settle. Looking to get down by the end line, and that's poked away. That might be the first corner. It is.
First corner coming up for the New York Renegades. Be taken over there in the southwest corner of the pitch here at Cleveland State.
Looks like it might be Quintanilla down at the end line. It is. Quintanilla was the one that got the first corner here of the afternoon for the Renegades. Now a corner kick coming.
There's a player down in the box, looked like from the Renegades.
Yeah, it's Quintanilla. He went down on that corner, and he was slow to get up, and then he made a couple steps, and now he's back down. So we'll see the trainer come out. Diaza Football says, let's go Renegades. Diaza Football, up-and-coming jersey company based out of New York. Done a fantastic job. A lot of jerseys in the UPSL and other leagues here at the amateur and youth level. So Quintanilla is now up. Will make his way off the pitch. So for the time being, Renegades will play a man down. So here comes the corner. Ball loose, hit off the back. They're not going to call that one. Ball put back in towards the 6. That's picked up. First touch of the afternoon for Parker Kump. I'll like to play it short, too.
That bending cross turned into more of a shot. It was actually on frame, so Comp with the save. First for either goalkeeper here. Temperatures again are up close to 90 degrees. It seems like the temps have been gradually increasing here the last couple hours. Now crossed into the 10th minute. 0-0 between New York Renegades and Rochester FC.
Quintanilla will come back in after taking a moment to collect himself. One back by Rochester. Good decision there by Sidibe, but one back by the Renegades.
Renegades have had the edge in possession here in the first 10 minutes or so. They do have one shot on frame and one corner kick to show for their efforts.
Segura. So Quintanilla is back down again. So we are going to see a sub, I would imagine. He's just continued. He went off, came back on, and then he's back down again.
He literally was jogging. He just fell right to the ground again. There's some type of injury he's grabbing. Looks like his left ankle or left calf.
He's got 3 goals on the season. See Flores helping lead him off, but I would imagine his day is done.
Yeah, he's hobbling pretty good as he walks gingerly towards the sidelines on the west side.
So it looks like number 33, Joseph Sanchez, will look like placing number 11, Angelo Quintanilla.
So first sub of the afternoon here in the 12th minute. Angelo Quintanilla was helped to the bench. Some type of left ankle or calf injury. You know, when temperatures are close to 90, there's a lot of heat index off these turfs. You hate to make a sub in the first 20 minutes or so, but an injury has already forced the Renegades to the bench.
Work this around still is Campos. To his brother Campos, I'd imagine. That's Kilmar Campos. So Sanchez coming in the 13th minute. Again, if you're Renegades, you don't want to be subbing that early, but it is what it is.
The Renegades definitely picked up possession. Every time they've turned the ball over, Rochester SC has turned it right back over to the Renegades. So still 0-0 here inside the first 15 minutes.
And really what you've seen, the Renegades have really, for the most part, in the early going of this game, have maintained good possession. Looking to go through that seam, and now Wall will play it back to Kevin Shannon. Now played back out, Asaguera. Good ball in Meja. Was looking for his teammate in Descalzo. Descalzo almost gets it back at his feet. There might be a foul, first foul. I think it's the first foul of the game, Dan. We're at 14 minutes in.
First foul for either team.
And a hard whistle from the center referee. And Matthew Carriel not happy with the call. It's not uncommon, though, Dan. I don't know how many players are so thrilled that a call has gone against them.
And they try to plead their case, but it's not going to be overturned.
Ball played all the way back now to Zarcone, and touched up here over midfield. As you'll see Aiden Burke track it down. All alone. Wall was there to defend. This was shot towards that near post, and Kevin Shannon watches that one, hits off the side and upper netting of the goal.
First shot attempt of the afternoon for Rochester FC, just wide and of the right goalpost. So both teams have one shot overall. New York Renegades do have one shot on frame and one corner kick here.
As we mentioned, we're live from Krensler Stadium here in Cleveland, Ohio. The winner of this game will move on and play in the national semifinals at Highmark Stadium. Coming up here August 9th through the 11th. So a lot to play for here. For both these teams. Again, Jonathan Turner alongside Dan Stickerat. See the beautiful skyline of downtown Cleveland off in the distance as Now here come the Renegades in transition. Descalzo receives the ball into the 18. Looks like he cut it back off the near post, and good work there by Parker Kump. Good counterattack. That's the best opportunity so far in this game for either team. Good ball there by Matthew Carriel looking for Descalzo on that far side.
The Renegades did a great job in transition, getting numbers up the field. Kind of a 4-on-3 edge. Was able to slot the ball through and get a shot off.
And now here comes Rochester on that far side. Ball looked to be put into the 18, and in comes Campos to clear it away. Now Bay on the ball here for Rochester. On that far side. And goes long. So as the ball is going to be thrown in, now the referee is sending ball back. One back by Rochester into the box. And now here comes the Renegades. Meha. Inside. Najera. Back to Asagera, and he'll throw it back. Pushed out wide on that far side. Good ball into Campos. Just running out of real estate on that far side is Joseph Sanchez, who subbed in here back in the 13th minute, or his teammate Angelo Quintanilla.
But again, New York Renegades, very good in transition. They're getting numbers. They're showing a lot of speed from their front line and from their midfielders, causing the Rochester FC back line to kind of make quick decisions. So they have had the better of the play possession here in the first 19 minutes or so.
Getting closer and closer to the halfway mark of this first half. Ball played. Asagera to that far side. Actually, Dan, it might have been Woods that came in. These numbers, as great as they are, they're hard to read because they have those spaces in between. But it might be actually Dylan Woods who came in and not Sanchez, number 33. So we're going to scratch that. It was Dylan Woods that came in for Quintanilla.
Yeah, the benches are on the west side of the stadium. There's a row of trees directly behind the benches, along with a fence line. So in the shadows, it's very difficult to read some of those numbers.
Ball pushed out wide, looking to Woods. Apologize. We were saying Joseph Sanchez there for a few minutes.
It is hot. It is humid. And as I took a sip of my water here momentarily ago, giant black spider on my water bottle.
Jeez, oh Pete's.
Almost.
The referee saying a few words there to the Rochester side. Sent back. Najera now. Asagera back to Waugh.
We're still at a 0-0 stalemate. However, the New York Renegades have controlled much of the possession here. Nothing to show for it on the scoreboard as of yet. We're still 0-0.
Played into Siddiby. We'll play it back.
The longest time period that Rochester FC has been able to maintain its possession since the opening 3 or 4 minutes.
Take a look here at the stats here so far. 1 foul, 3 shots in total.
Both of the Renegade shots were on frame. They do have the game's only corner, and Rochester FC only shot was wide right just a few minutes ago.
Well, that's a great move by Siddiby. He'll make his way down to the end line. Siddiby across the goal, and that's cleared out for the first corner of the match here for Rochester.
Great effort by Siddiby down that right side. He beat a couple defenders, was able to slot that into the box. For the ball was knocked out of place. So the Renegades had a corner kick about 10 minutes ago. Now Rochester FC set to take their first corner kick. Will be in the northeast corner of the pitch.
So the first corner coming up here for Rochester. Trying to see who's taking this, Dan. It's hard to see in this corner here.
We have a fence line on the edge of the bleachers. It's very difficult to see both corners on the east side of the pitch.
So ball comes in, goes over everybody, but hit off the head of the Renegades. I believe they hit off the head of Milton Campos and out for at least another throw-in.
Yeah, deep throw, and now it's just left of the corner flag. So in a match where the New York Renegades have controlled possession in the last 3 minutes or so, Rochester FC has kind of picked up the pace.
So another throw on that far side. Up the ball put in towards the 18. Good work by Powell to get a head on it. He'll try to go back at it again. Ball now loose, settled down by Campos. Now Carriel up that far side. That's Woods. Woods puts it in the back post. Might go back to Woods. It does. Now back to Carriel. Inside to Campos. Campos looks to fire, one blocked by Tanner Bay. Now really, this one goes back. Switch to this near side. Alcott looks to play it into Aiden Burke. Burke gets a touch on it. Siddiby tries to track it down. Burke there in support. Now a shot from distance right into the arms of Kevin Shannon.
First save of the afternoon for Shannon, right into his chest. Rochester was on the counterattack. Finally able to put one on frame, but right into the arms of Kevin Shannon.
First shot on target for Rochester in this game. Starting to see some momentum shift here for them. Again, most of the possession in this one has gone in favor of the Renegades. Israeli now. Dispossessed just outside the 18. Good defensive work there by Campos. Now here come the Renegades in transition. Ball played to Meha. Meha's got 2 defenders from Rochester. Now 3 defenders come over. Now ball played in towards that near post, and Parker Kump is right there to pick it up.
Not a lot of pace on that cross. No one near Parker Kump.
Ball played back by Bay. Now Moran. Scott Burke on this near side. He likes to go short to Alcott. Now to Burke. Now Asaguera. Some physical play between Burke and Asaguera. Ball did not go out, says the referee. Now here comes Sidibe. Now Moran. Got Rayleigh there. Rayleigh looks to fire one far post, and that's a rebound. Sidibe in the back of the net. Off the hands of Kevin Shannon. It's now 1-0. So the initial shot from Jamison Rayleigh, Shannon makes. A save, a rebound goes back to Sidibe, and he puts it home. So Eli Sidibe gets the goal. It's 1-0 here from Krenzler Stadium.
28th minute, Sidibe is loose in the box, able to corral the loose ball off the rebound. And with the left-footed shot about 15 yards out, able to tuck that into the corner of the net. So Rochester FC, which has conceded most of the possession, didn't even have a shot until the last 5 minutes. It's the game's first goal.
So the opening score here coming 28 minutes into this match. And again, we saw some of this shift here, Dan, the last 5 minutes where Rochester's getting more opportunities. Renegades, again, have been most of this game have controlled possession and the flow.
Rochester see all 4 of their shots, and their 3 shots on frame, and even their corner kick have come in the last 6 minutes. So a shift in momentum.
We got a player down inside the 18. It's now referee is it's number 5.
AJ
Zarcone.
Zarcone is kind of wreathing in pain there, grabbing his right ankle. Excuse me, looks like the left ankle, but he is still rolling around inside the box.
Let's take a look at the replay of the goal, though. Again, you can see it there as we sped it up, but we'll slow it down, bring it back up again. And that Kevin Shannon makes the initial save, and then Sidibe puts it home. So, I believe this is the water break part of the match here. Is it, again, the heat index has got to be well over 90 here today in Cleveland.
We did have a slight breeze coming off Lake Erie, less than a mile to the north. It seems as the course of this game has moved on, that breeze is almost completely faded away. The heat index might be over 90 degrees here at Cleveland State University. So So 31st minute here. Quick water break. Rochester FC began mounting some pressure here about 6 or 7 minutes ago, resulting in the game's first and only tally.
Still a beautiful Sunday afternoon here in Cleveland, Ohio. I mean, there's only two places I'd rather be right now, Dan, than here. A pool and a beach. I mean, that's the only other place I want to be. I mean, you know, if you're talking about, I mean, and granted, the pool would not be in Ohio. It'd be someplace tropical, right near the ocean. So the pool would be right near the ocean because I don't necessarily like salt water. I prefer, you know, fresh water. So if you took like Lake Michigan and it was like, you know, and put it in Florida, it'd be money. You know, because, but of course there's alligators, so I guess that's the.
There's always that drawbacks being in like Florida. Alligators, large snakes.
That's right. The warmer the climate, the creepier the critters get. Isn't that right? Great crew here on hand here today. Ryan Gagnon, our camera operator, along with Phoebe Gagnon. Our switch operator here today is Brianna Turner. Zoe is in charge of our audio, and Nathan, our technical director. I'm Jonathan Turner, Dan Stickrat here off to my left. It is a little cooler here inside the press box, I think, Dan.
Yeah, as the sun kind of moves to the west, I believe the heat has picked up inside the press box. There is no air conditioning here at Cleveland State University, so.
Who needs air conditioning, Dan?
It's overrated, right?
It's funny, my wife will be like, you know, I would have loved to have grown up during the time, you know, the different times way back in the day. I go, no, you don't. No, you wouldn't. You want your air conditioning.
Well, I'll be honest with you, in the hundreds and hundreds of high schools and colleges I've been in.
Well, that is a foul. We might see our first yellow card of the game. It is not really, I believe, it's the one that got fouled. So it's going to be a free kick here about 30 yards from goal. So tack 2MB up the boys in white. Wilmer Benitez says, tack your tripping, watch the comeback from Renegades. Appreciate you tuning in here on this Sunday afternoon. We get ever so closer to evening. I believe it's really standing over this one for Rochester. Again, they're in their white and green kits here today. Looks like a five-man wall. Referee having a few words here with the wall. It's Jamison Rayleigh who stands over this one. So Rayleigh will take a shot, and Shannon misplays the ball, but able to cover it up. That's the second time we've seen Shannon with a ball played right at him, but unable to really collect it cleanly. The first one ended up in a goal for Siddiby, and that one almost ended up in a goal number 2 here in this game here for Rochester.
That was a laser on goal. Shannon unable to corral the initial shot, and the ball kind of spun out to his right. Rochester FC had a couple players within, near distance of Shannon. They were a step or two closer. They've been able to get a second shot off and maybe put a second goal into the back of the net.
Hey, and, again, shots are dipping and they're moving. I mean, as a former goalkeeper, Dan, I can tell you that, a shot that looks easy to catch from here in our vantage point isn't necessarily the same thing for the goalkeeper. So, if a ball is dipping, hey, the goal is just to keep it, keep it in front of you so you can control it. The last thing you want to do is punch one down right towards an opposing team. That's what happened with Siddiby. He was able to corral that one at the end on that last shot from Rayleigh, but got to find a way to parry those aside, even give up a corner if you have to, versus giving right back to the other side. There's Mata looking for Siddiby. Siddiby with a good touch. She'll go down. Rayleigh was there support-wise, and that one's cleared away.
That ball went outside of the stadium onto the street. Rochester FC did not even have a single shot attempt in the first 20 minutes. They now have a 5-3 shots advantage overall, 4-2 on frame. Both teams have a corner kick apiece, but where it matters the most, on the scoreboard, Rochester FC has the 1-0 advantage here in the later stages of the first half.
So 37th minute, it's 1-0 here. 28th minute goal from Eli Siddiby is all the difference in this one. As now Siddiby will turn on one and put one across face a goal and cleared away by Waugh. Want to thank the 162 of you watching right now across the nation in this UPSL national quarterfinal matchup with national semifinal implications. Jonathan Turner alongside Dan Stickrat here from Krensler Field in Cleveland, Ohio. Winner will move on to play in the national semifinals. Ball is sent in towards Berg. It's headed away. Now played back. Alcott inside. Bay. Bay to Siddiby. Scott Rayleigh right behind him. Now Siddiby is shoved to the ground, and Meha draws the foul.
So third foul in the afternoon against the New York Renegades. This time this set piece is a good 35 yards out, away from the goal.
So Jamison Rayleigh stands over this one again. Now he'll actually stand over with his left boot. So expect this one to be put maybe right in between the 6 and the 12. I don't expect a shot here, but I could be wrong. This ball is not played where you want it to be, if you're Rayleigh at least. Now ball cleared up towards midfield, and now Strayer now looking to go over the top. Oh, look at this. It's now an opportunity inside the 18, and Descalzo was not happy with the non-call. He was looking for a handling. And Descalzo has 11 goals on the season for the Renegades. His last touched off, oh, actually it went off a wall. It looked like it hit off Siddiby first. Ball inside the 18, Siddiby. Plays it back post. That's Mata. Mata will take a shot that deflects and out for a corner.
So second corner kick of the afternoon coming up for Rochester FC. They have switched the momentum here in the last 15 minutes. They hold that all important 1-0 advantage.
So referee is blowing his whistle, trying to get Flores to step away, give them that 10 yards distance. It's Javier Flores. This ball played in, and that's cleared away by Najera. Might be a shove. That's a foul.
It's just the first foul against
Descalzo was the one that went to the ground. Getting towards the business end of this first half. Watching the UPSL National Quarterfinals here from Cleveland, Ohio.
We're now in the 40th minute. The New York Renegades came out and controlled much of the possession the first 20-plus minutes of the match. But their offensive pressure has tapered as of late in the last 10 minutes. Rochester has carried a lot of the play, had the better of the chances, able to tuck one in the back of the net. That goal coming in the 28th minute off a rebound goal from Ellie Sabiti.
Ball sent in towards Siddiby. He'll try and track it down. He does. Puts it across towards the penalty spot. It's cleared away.
Siddiby quite dangerous so far in this game. He's been putting a lot of pressure as of late on the back line of the New York Renegades.
Ball played up now. Trying to track it down. They do. Played inside. Campos just outside the 18. Now Campos, it's blocked. Woods back to Campos. Inside.
Just 4 shots. The Renegades, 2 of them have been blocked in this match as they've had a hard time getting it through the back line of Rochester FC.
Seguera. Meja. Settled down. Campos. Gariel out wide to Woods. Looks to put this across towards the back post. Nobody there. Burke looking for Sidibe. Oh, Sidibe. Hard collision between Sidibe and Waugh. Waugh is slow to get up. And the foul is on Waugh, and that's the right call. Even though Waugh is worse for the wearer.
Both collided here on the near touchline, about 5 yards inside the Renegade side of the field. Waugh still down. Looked like they collided in the shoulder part of the body.
Yeah, so Waugh is slow to get up. He's starting to kind of move here on this near side. Sidibe is over now. Trying to give some level of comfort.
Nice display of sportsmanship by Sidibe before the trainer got there.
I mean, as much as we can talk about, you know, Dan, the level of competition and how much players want to win, I think if you started talking with 99.9% of athletes, players, doesn't matter what sport, they're all going to tell you that the last thing they want to see is a player get hurt. You know, they want to go out there and they want to play competitively, and sometimes as part of that, there's the byproduct is an injury. But there's not a player. When I play, I don't want to hurt anybody. I mean, I wanted to go out there and provide pain. You know, I'll say that as a player. I wanted to create painful moments, but I didn't want anyone to get hurt. You know, and so that, you know, that's, you know, this sport is intended to be fun. It's intended to be a lot of things. But one of those is not you know, injuries. And injuries are unfortunately a part of the game, whether that be the ones where you see players who just get tripped up, like we saw a few weeks ago in a game, Dan, where you saw a player in you know, just went in awkwardly. It wasn't even like a hard tackle. He hurt his knee. You know, so it's just unfortunate part of the game. Waugh is still on this near side. He's holding his head. He take a hard collision there with Eli Sidibe here a moment ago.
You know, both players kind of went for that ball. I don't think there was any, like, ill will or significant intent to injure the other player, but Yvonne Waugh is now back on the pitch.
That's pulled back by Najera on that far side. I know in the comments, a lot of, you know, maybe it's not a lot, but, you know, the conversation might be about, well, this is not, doesn't make a lot of sense. The ball played back post. Descalzo was the one there at the back post, almost got it back towards goal. But about the location here, you know, the reality is that, you know, when you're talking about these quarterfinal matchups, the UPSL has created like this location system now where teams are not traveling thousands of miles for a quarterfinal, and that has happened in the past. And based on the fact that there were some teams coming out of the Michigan area, you got teams coming out of the East Coast. There's teams possibly coming out of the Heartland. When that happens, you got to find a central location. So this location has been picked, I believe, for a few months now. And even though 2 New York teams are here, this was the pre-selected, predetermined location for this matchup, regardless of who won. But I can understand why people are like, why are you bringing them in from? They're both from New York. But Sidibe now on the ball, he'll go down. That's a dive. Now Burke will take the fire shot that actually hit off the upper chest.
Yeah, you look at some of the regions where a lot of these teams are coming from. They came from multiple Midwestern states, further east. UPSL officials just didn't know exactly who might get through to the quarterfinals, so this field was picked a long time ago. The contracts were signed. It just happened to be that 2 New York-based teams were able to get through into this quarterfinal. As
on that far side, Woods, it's knocked away and out for a corner.
So second corner kick of the match coming up for the New York Renegades. We're out inside the final 5 minutes or so of the first half. They're trying to net an equalizer. They've had 4 shots overall, 2 which are blocked. Only 2 shots on frame. Parker Kump has made both stops here in the afternoon for Rochester FC.
Ball comes in off the corner. It's cleared away. Makes its way to Sidibe. Sidibe on the ball. He's got some green space. Going to use that speed on the outside of the pitch. Sidibe goes down, and now a foul is called. There's Flores there defensively, and looks like we might even see a yellow card. We did see a yellow card, so Javier Flores, number 15 for the Renegades, gets the first yellow here of the afternoon. So a free kick here for Rochester. We are in the second minute of stoppage. We were not informed of how much time was going to be given as this ball is put into the 18. Out comes Shannon, and he'll collect.
Referee looking at his watch. We're in the waning minutes here, the first half. Rochester FC over in-state rival, the New York Renegades.
And and obviously, I think you think about your 2 New York-based teams are playing each other in this game as well. And New York's a big market, and there's a lot of teams that play out of that New York area. So it's you got 2 different teams coming out of that North America, the American North Division, and then obviously the Western New York. So that can create a lot of complexities, the word I would use, in regards to scheduling and whatnot. Is Alcott will play it back now to Parker Kump. Now played up towards midfield, but settled down by Campos. Looking to play it into Meja, and now that's a foul.
About 4 minutes in the stoppage time. There was a goal, and there was a couple of injuries, was ate a few minutes off the clock here in the first half, so play will continue.
Still plenty of time left in this game. We'll talk about what these 2 teams got to do here in the second half to either add to their lead if you're Rochester to come back in this one, even maybe get a second goal. This ball played in by Burke to Sidibe with a left-footed shot that goes well wide. Good ball coming in from Burke.
Another great effort by Sidibe. He just couldn't get enough of foot on it to put that on frame. He scored it just wide left of the post.
And that will wrap up this first half. The 1-0 lead here in favor of Rochester, New York. Eli Sidibe in the 28th minute, giving the Rochester, New York side a 1-0 lead. Here going into the first half break. 45 minutes down. 45 minutes to go. Will it be Rochester, New York who punches their ticket into the national semifinals, or will it be the Renegades punching their ticket into the national semifinals here at Highmark Stadium in downtown Pittsburgh, coming up here in just 2 weeks? So we'll find out here after this.
Are you looking to play at the next level? MSN is now offering player recruitment videos. We are excited to partner with you and your family in getting you to the next level. To learn more about our packages and what we offer, head over to the MichiganSoccerNetwork.com. Remember, your journey starts with a click.
Now Worrell has a good cutback from him. He'll fire one, and that's going to go in! Michigan Soccer Network, man! DCFC! Woo! The sights, the sounds of historic Keyworth Stadium. There's nothing quite like it. Each week, Jonathan Turner and Neil Rule will break down the most recent Detroit City FC USL Championship match, taking a look at the Eastern Conference standings, looking ahead to their upcoming match, and much more. Watch the Detroit City FC recap show each week on the Michigan Soccer Network. Let's go City on the Michigan Soccer Network.
You are watching the Michigan Soccer Network.
Rochester is up from 12, now at 10.
Voice of Michigan Student Athletes, the Student Advisory Council's role
Is to convey the message of how high school sports are supposed to be played.
We were responsible for helping the MHSAA maintain a positive and healthy atmosphere
in which interscholastic students can thrive.
We believe athletes should be competitive,
Sportsmanlike and excel academically.
We believe students in the stand should have fun,
but not take the focus away from the game. We believe coaches should act as teachers,
helping student athletes develop while still keeping high school sports in perspective.
We believe that parents should always be positive role models
and be supportive of their child's decisions.
We believe officials commit their own time to high school sports.
and respect should always be shown and given to them.
The most important goal for student athletes is to enjoy high school sports
while maintaining a high level of respect for all those involved in the games.
Enjoy the game.
Are you looking to take your game to the next level? Did you know that MSN is now offering player recruitment videos? Our packages include a player profile where you show your preferred positions, the club, the league, or school that you play in, your current coach contact information, and more. The highlight videos could be self-submitted, 15 to 30 clips that will be put into a 3 to 7 minute long video. Video review of your Huddle, VO, or other platforms that you might have video on, as well as for an additional charge, MSN can come out and film games for you to create those clips. Our coach evaluation process, which is also an additional charge, where we have college coaches from various levels across the United States that will review your game film and provide feedback on how to improve that film, as well as also evaluating your play and what you can improve on. To learn more about our packages and what we offer, head over to the MichiganSoccerNetwork.com. Remember, your journey starts with a click.
Our mission is to help players take their game to the next level and reach their potential. Not only do we help develop fundamental technical skills such as ball control in tight spaces with different surfaces, dribbling at speed and changing direction, using a variety of 1v1 skills to create space, receiving on a half turn, hook turn, and out of the air, finishing off the dribbling, one-touch, volleys, and headers. We help players get comfortable performing these skills at game speed with pressure and with both their dominant and non-dominant foot. In addition, we help players with their speed of play, awareness of space, defenders and teammates, and also dominate with their off-the-ball movement. We offer a variety of services such as one-on-ones, small groups, large groups, as well as team sessions. We have an experienced coaching staff that is professional, friendly, patient, while still holding players to high standards and holding them accountable. No matter what level you're at as a player, I'm confident we can help you get better. Over the past 3 years, we've built one of the best soccer-specific training facilities in the country and developed one of the most detail-oriented programs to help out players. Visit our website.
Granite City Food and Brewery has 2 Michigan locations in Troy and Northville. Serves made-from-scratch food, brews in-house beer, and even has brunch every Sunday from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. To learn more about their daily specials or to book a private party, visit gcfb.com. Make sure you head over to Granite City in Northville at the corner of 7 Mile and Haggerty, or the Troy location at 16 Mile and I-75.
Dos, tres.
I'm a husband. I'm a father.
I'm a sister.
I'm a son. I'm a brother.
I'm a daughter. I'm a sister. I'm a referee.
I'm a referee.
I am a referee.
I'm a referee.
Welcome back here in the Krensler Stadium on this Sunday evening. Now here as it has crossed over the 6 o'clock hour, moved into evening, and it's 1-0 here in favor of Rochester, New York. Eli Siddiby in the 28th minute, giving them the 1-0 lead. Let's take a look here at the first half stats. And there they are. You can see there the Renegades FC. They've got 4 shots, 2 on target. Rochester has 6. They've got 4 on target. Each team has 1 save apiece. Fouls, 1 apiece as well. But either way, there's a look at your match stats. We are just about 5 minutes or so from getting the second half back underway. So don't go anywhere. You're watching the UPSL National Quarterfinal live on the UPSL YouTube channel. Now Worrell has a good cutback from him. He'll fire one, and that's going to go in! Granite City Food and Brewery has 2 Michigan locations in Troy and Northville. Serves made-from-scratch food, brews in-house beer, and even has brunch every Sunday from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. To learn more about their daily specials or to book a private party, visit gcfb.com. Make sure you head over to Granite City in Northville at the corner of 7 Mile and Haggerty, or the Troy location at 16 Mile and I-75.
Are you looking to play at the next level? MSN is now offering player recruitment videos. We are excited to partner with you and your family in getting you to the next level. To learn more about our packages and what we offer, head over to the MichiganSoccerNetwork.com. Remember, your journey starts with a click.
What rhymes with great?
Participate.
Where does greatness start? Here, in the classroom.
On the diamond.
In the pool. On the field. Where will your greatness take you?
To better grades.
To more friends.
Yeah!
Be great.
Participate!
And welcome back here into Krensler Stadium here in Cleveland, Ohio. Jonathan Turner alongside Dan Stickrat. It's 1-0 here at the half. Favor of Rochester, New York. It's win or go home. Do or die here, Dan, as these two teams based out of New York making about a 3-hour plus trip here to Cleveland today to do this match here, right? And for the first part of that game, first part of that first half, Renegades really seemed like they had control. They were moving the ball around quite well against Rochester, and I would say that they were on their heels, but man, that's also part of the game plan maybe too, right? When you start talking with teams, a lot of times, as a former coach myself, I would have teams kind of come at us a little bit. I kind of want to see how they were going to attack, and that allowed us to kind of work some things out defensively, and then that allowed us to really kind of settle the game down. And that could have been very well the game plan to start this game. But they kind of came alive there about the 23rd minute, right about 5 minutes before that goal. They found a way to get some shots on, and finally in the 28th, Eli Siddiby putting away a rebound off of Kevin Shannon to get in the 1-0 lead. They almost had another one a few minutes later off another free. This is a free kick from James Raley, but it's 1-0 as we get ready here for the second half.
Yeah, the New York Renegades control play for about the first 25 minutes or so, and then the tide quickly changed. Rochester SC, they did not have a single shot attempt or a corner in those first 25 minutes. Be able to pick up the pace to provide that 1-0 advantage. 6-4 in total shots, 4-2 on frame. Both teams had 2 corner kicks, but again, Rochester SC didn't have any stats the first 25 minutes or so. They are in a comfortable 1-0 advantage here as both teams are trotting back out on the pitch. So we'll see what kind of adjustments the New York Renegades make here at the start of the second half. Again, they control play for the first 25 minutes, just unable to push one over the goal. They only had 2 of their 4 shots were actually on frame. The other 2 were blocked outside of the box. And the Renegades also had to make a substitution about 12.5 minutes into the game off an ankle injury.
We have not been informed of any changes either. It looks like Oscar Rivas, number 26, is stepping in. For the Renegades. Don't know who he came in for. I wish it was number 22 out there. There's Marico Puerto is also in there as well. So we see at least 2 substitutions here being used up by the Renegades to start this second half. We are back underway here at Krensler Stadium. Jonathan Turner alongside Dan Stickrat. This UPSL National Quarterfinal. Renegades in their orange and blue kits are going left to right now on your screen. And Rochester, New York in the white and green kits are going right to left. Up this near side, Woods played it inside. Picked up by the goalkeeper and Parker Kump. Played up towards midfield, and Flores will head that one out.
So it is a little past 6 p.m., but the temperatures are still upwards close to 90 degrees. The index is clearly over 90 degrees. The sun is yet to dip behind any of the high rises here. We're just about a half mile down east of downtown Cleveland, Ohio.
Settled down by Sideby, the goal scorer, back in the 28th minute. Up that far side to Scalzo. Burke there defensively, and now Scalzo plays inside. Played up here towards Dylan Woods. Woods will track it down. Plays it inside. Now Woods will take down Rayleigh, and that's a foul.
So after committing 6 fouls in the first half, that's the 7th one against the New York Renegades.
So Rivas, who came in here during the halftime breaks, got 5 goals on the season here for the Renegades. Ball played up towards Rayleigh. He'll bring it up. Looks to go out wide. This will actually hit off of Flores, and in comes Shannon. He'll pick it up. Ball played by Mata. Looking to play it inside towards Burke. Now Flores. Heavy first touch. Down goes Tanner Bay. One real quick free kick here now is Rayleigh into Sideby. Sideby into the 18. He'll play this back post, and way too much pace on that ball and distance, and it'll go out for a throw-in.
Much like the final 20 minutes of the first half, Rochester SC is trying to get the ball up top to Ellie Sideby, who had the goal in the 28th minute off a rebound. Jamison Rayleigh had the initial shot. Kevin Shannon, the Renegades goalkeeper, was able to turn that aside, but the ball popped out into the box. With Sideby there, to cash in the rebound from about 15 yards out. So that's the only goal we had in the 28th minute of the first half.
Ooh, one back now. Akariel and the Renegades, but one back by Burke, and he'll be followed by not one but 2 Renegade players.
So 3
Scalzo and Carriel.
3 quick fouls against the New York Renegades as we open up the second half.
Now Campos. Look to thread the needle, and that's one back by Rochester. Moran. Scott Rayleigh, their support, as well as Burke. He'll find Rayleigh. Now this one will be played back. Alcott. Back into Rayleigh. Out wide. All put in towards Siddiby and Burke. Settled down by Rayleigh, but a heavy touch, and now here comes the Renegades. Ball pushed out wide to Scalzo on that far side. He'll come up over midfield with pace. Looks to go through 2 defenders. Comes up, take a shot towards the near post and in! Equalizing here are the Renegades in the 51st minute. Descalzo getting his 12th goal of the season. It's 1-1.
Descalzo breaks 3 just near the top of the box. Wide open, he tucks one in and just inside the left goal post. So on their first shot of the second half, the New York Renegades able to find an equalizer and tie this game up at 1 apiece.
One here in Cleveland.
So turnover just inside midfield. The New York Renegades had numbers. Their first chance in the second half, able to tie this game up. So,
well, that's a hard foul, and we might see. We're not going to see a yellow card as Carriel went right through the back of Tyler Moran.
That's the 4th foul of the second half against the Renegades, 10th overall. And for Rochester FC, they had 1 foul against in the final 15 minutes of the first half, and that's it. So they played somewhat of a very clean game here.
So Descalzo got a yellow card here just a moment ago. We'll put the replay up on your screen here in a moment, but Descalzo just got a yellow card. But let's take a look here at the replay. Apologize, we don't have it. I was told we did, and then we didn't. So yellow cards are coming out now, and that's the 3rd yellow card of the game. All the yellow cards have been issued here to the Renegades.
That 3rd one looked like it was issued to a pair of coaches on the Renegades bench who have been arguing and pleading their case. So the New York Renegades able to tie this game up, but issued a pair of yellows, 1 to a field player, 1 to a coach. They also had a yellow card back in the 43rd minute of the first half.
So there was a replay of the goal. That goal coming in the 51st minute from Rodrigo Descalzo. And it's 1-1 here at Krenzler Stadium. Now Flores. Good work to get this ball into Siddiby. Siddiby, good poke away there. That was Dreyer that put that one back in towards Siddiby, and now here comes Woods and the Renegades. Woods. Played it back, Carriel. Out wide to Scalzo. Looking towards Porto, and comes up with it.
So 3rd save of the game for Parker Kump, the goalkeeper for Rochester SC.
Played up over midfield, looking for Siddiby, and that's put back up onto Rochester's side of the pitch. Those two Renegade players collide. Mata inside to Rayleigh. He'll like to play it back to Mata. Now Moran. Looking to put up that far side, and good defensive work by Asquera.
So other than the fouls against and the yellow cards, all against the New York Renegades, the stats have been very even there, Jonathan. 6 shot attempts for both teams. 4 shots on frame, 2 corner kicks apiece. And Kevin Shannon, the goalkeeper for the Renegades, and then Parker Comp, the goalkeeper for Rochester SC, both making 3 stops at this point in the game. So we're now in the 55th minute.
So Alcott down on that far side with Puerto. Puerto, great work defensively, finds Rivas. Near side to Woods, overlapping run up the front there by Flores. Flores looks for this back post, nobody there. I appreciate you stopping by here on this Sunday evening to watch UPSL National quarterfinals from Cleveland, Ohio. Jonathan Turner alongside Dan Stickrat. Right now it's all tied up here, 1 apiece. A first half goal from Eli Siddiby, and then an equalizer in the 51st minute by Rodrigo Descalzo. It has this game notched up at 1 apiece. Both these teams looking to punch their ticket into the national semifinals at Highmark Stadium, home of the Pittsburgh Riverhounds in USL Championship Soccer. Last year's national championships were in Leesburg, Virginia at Segra Field, where Loudoun United call home. They're also in the USL Championship. Ball pushed out wide. Alcott. Play it back to Rayleigh. Rayleigh, good cutback. Plays it back out wide. Back inside, looking for maybe Siddiby, but there was a lot of Renegade players in the middle of the box.
Yeah, last year we were at Segra Field for those 2 semifinals in the Friday evening, and midway through the second half of game number 2, we were hit by some severe thunderstorms.
Look at that, Woods up this near side. Good play defensively. That was by Dreyer. Now Rivas back to Woods, but he's offside.
So that's the first offsides whistle in this game against either side.
Semifinals will take place August the 9th, Friday, August the 9th from Highmark Stadium. Both game times will be determined here in the next week and a half or so. And then the third place game and finals will take place on Sunday, August the 11th, in the event that inclement weather is involved on Friday. Those games we played on Saturday. That's the makeup day for Friday. Had a chance to call the national finals in Columbus at the old historic Columbus Crew Stadium back 2 years ago. And then last summer at Segra Field. And then I called the national championships for the fall side in Orange County, California. This ball play up looking for Siddiby. He's got the legs. Collects the ball, cuts inside. Ball on his left foot, shot. That's a great save on the slide tackle by Asquera.
You can see how dangerous Siddiby is. He's big, he's tall, he's strong, but he's got great speed and acceleration, long legs. They're able to cause a lot of problems for the opposition here today and really all season. So whenever Rochester FC has the ball inside of the Renegades territory, more often than not, they're looking to get the ball in the feet. Ellie Siddiby.
Ball played inside. That's Puerto. Carriel out wide. Descalzo. Descalzo's got 2 defenders. Inside. Now back to Carriel. He tried to take a crack at it, but that's deflected on its way towards Comp.
So Comp with his 4th save of the game, 2 in each half. Sideby about 20 yards offsides on that play. So both teams picking up 1 offsides call here in the second half, both in the last 5 minutes. So now we're about 15 minutes into the second half. 1-1 between the New York Renegades and the Rochester FC. Rochester took that 1-0 advantage in the 28th minute, and in the 51st minute, New York Renegades able to net an equalizer.
Good switch to that far side. Tracking down on it was Esquera. Descalzo. He's got Rivas in the middle of the park. He'll elect to go here to this near side towards Flores. Good defensive work by Dreyer. This ball put in towards that back post, and that was sent in by Samuel Caceres. Where these 8s look like 9s and 9s look like 8s. I can appreciate a good-looking number. It's just so hard sometimes to see the contrast with different lighting. We joke around about that a lot, Dan, but I don't, aside from the professional leagues, I don't know if teams even really give a lot of thought to anyone being able to really see their numbers outside of maybe what's on their wall when they plaque at the end of the season.
You see it in a lot of sports, but in particular sports like soccer and basketball, where we're trying to mark up an opposing player, or in basketball you're trying to guard an opposing player, and sometimes jersey numbers on the back blend in with the other colors, or they're really small, so unless you're right on top of the opposition, it's very difficult to read.
So Pollard on that far side, and go out for a throw-in. So we're going to see a Rochester sub now. Looks as though it looks like Tanner Bay, number 6, is going to step off for Rochester.
Way to go.
Looking to see who's stepping on now in place of Tanner Bay. Number 16, that's Nick Swanger. So Swanger is in for Rochester, and out is number 6, Tanner Bay. That's their first substitution here of the evening.
That substitution coming in the 61st minute. The scoreboard is in the northwest corner of the stadium here at Cleveland State University. It is not operational this afternoon, so.
It is in my thoughts there, Dan.
Yep.
It is in my thoughts. All ball on this near side. Goes back to Shannon. Ball inside to Sideby. He was looking to go to Rayleigh. Good slide tackle from Kilmar Campos. Because that was surely going to Rayleigh, who had been one-on-one with Shannon. Mata. Ball played inside towards Burke. Burke's taking a more interior role. He's playing more of a defensive midfielder now. We saw him playing out wide in the first half. Now a great overlapping run. Ball slotted towards Rivas and cleared away.
Again, the Renegades getting numbers down the field in a hurry.
So looks like another substitution coming in now for Rochester. So it looks like number 4, Quinn Alcott, is going to step off for Rochester. Number 12 coming in, Dale Lepper has replaced Alcott, which, again, you say unusual. Not a lot of players. Talk about your back line. Alcott's been playing center back in this game for Rochester. To take off a center back, that's not something you typically see.
Right. But heat is going to be a factor here. It is hot and humid. It makes you wonder maybe a player's not feeling well or not up to it. They might make a sub. So the referee says this will be a goal kick, not a corner. Player from each side were tangled up there near the end line on the north end of the stadium.
Another player, I believe, might be stepping on here for Rochester in a moment. Nope. Just hanging out really wide on that far side now. There's a shot from distance, makes its way to Comp. Descalzo took that shot from about 35-plus yards out. It was low. All played up.
Much like the first half, New York Renegades have kind of control play here in the second half.
All played inside, Mata. Now Moran. Moran will take the space given to him. He'll take a shot, and Shannon almost lets that one go in.
So fourth save of the evening for Shannon, but that's the third time today he's corralled the shot but dropped it within the box. This time there was not a player from Rochester United in the box area, and he's able to clean up the loose ball.
Off that far side. Yeah, unsure hands is what I would say. Again, this is our first time seeing Shannon in action here for the Renegades, and not knowing if this is their typical goalkeeper or not. Again, the shots, they can come in, they can be difficult. There's a lot that goes into it. But a couple times we've seen tonight here on at least 3 occasions, Shannon dropping what seemed to be the easier ball coming at him and just unable to keep it cleanly. One of those resulting in a goal. This ball slotted towards the back post. Woods would have been the closest Renegade, as this one will go wide. First time stopping by here on the UPSL YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button, like us and share us with your friends and family. You're watching the UPSL National Quarterfinal live from Krensler Stadium here in Cleveland, Ohio, home of the Cleveland State Vikings. We are smack dab right in the middle of the heart of Cleveland.
Literally just about a half mile away east of the high rises in downtown Cleveland. And again, about half, 3/4 of a mile to our right, which is to the north, sits Lake Erie. So Cleveland has long had the nickname the city by the lake.
Which, to be fair, Dan, maybe part of me feels like we were at Northwestern right now, because Northwestern's like right on the water.
Yeah.
It's like right on the water. You go dive right in there at halftime, come back in, Because it is hot.
It is hot. It is muggy. The breeze has died down. There was a breeze earlier this afternoon before the game, but over the course of that first half, that breeze gradually went away.
And we do, Dan, for everyone at home, we do have 3 fans here in the press box. 1, 2, I'm counting all 3 of them. They're still in their boxes. When we got here, there were only 1 table, so we used this as a makeshift table. All 3 boxes on top of our computer box. So otherwise, you'd be hearing the nice breeze coming through the press box if it weren't for the lack of table when we got here. But
strange setups when you go to press boxes, and I say this
with all due respect.
I have been to literally probably 400-plus high schools in the state of Michigan, plus colleges of various sizes. I've been to a lot of other facilities in multitude of states in my 31 years of working at various levels of the media. But there aren't very many press boxes that have air conditioning or are heated.
Obviously, you start getting into the Power 5 schools, Big Ten, things like that. You are going to start to see
Correct.
those type of environments. I mean, like if we called, we called the UPSL quarterfinal game in the fall in December at the Columbus Crew's new stadium in Columbus, and I mean that place has everything you could possibly imagine in it. Lore.com field is where we were for that game. That was a great matchup. It's kind of cool what stadiums we've had a chance to call games in, Dan. I know you weren't there for me for that Columbus game, but that was one of the highlights right there. We've done obviously multiple games at historic Columbus Crew Stadium, Segra Field, historic Keyworth Stadium. Our first trek here to Cleveland, Ohio to cover a game here. So this ball loose inside. Now Puerto. Got Descalzo off on his left. Now Puerto will fire a one that goes wide. So a good idea. We are officially in the 71st minute. It's 1-1 here at Krenzler Stadium.
So far this second half, the Renegades have a 4-2 shots advantage and 3-1 on frame. No corner kicks here in the second half. Both teams did have 2 corner kicks apiece in the first half. Rochester has been unable to generate much of anything here in the second half. They're looking for the counter.
Over the top looking for Siddiby. Siddiby will try and track it down. He gets there, but that's poked away.
So just like that, I mentioned no corner kicks in the second half. I mentioned that about 20 seconds ago. And Rochester FC has earned the first corner kick of the second half.
It was Caceres that knocked that one out. I believe that's the 3rd overall corner here tonight for Rochester. Gotta give a shout out to our crew. They are battling it here today. And Dan and I have it pretty easy. We just get to talk. They have to push buttons and deal with the heat just like the players do.
Shout out to our camera crew outside the press box, braving the elements.
Ball put right back in the mix towards Siddiby, but he was offside. It's played in by Nick Swanger.
So second offsides against Rochester FC, both coming in the second half. Again, just 2 shots and 1 shot on frame. The second half for Rochester, they had that advantage in the 28th minute.
Carriel now. Descalzo into Campos. Look to switch to this near side, looking towards Woods, and that's cleared up and out by Rochester. Ball thrown back in by Flores. Rivas plays it back. Campos. Far side. Back into Campos. Looking to go out wide to Scalzo. Scalzo looks to go back post, and you'll watch as Zach Dreyer lets that one go out for a goal kick. Kump will set it down and getting towards the latter stages of this game. It's 1-1. I think for all teams, fans included, probably want to see a goal here coming through in the next couple minutes for either side. With it being as hot and as humid as it is, you would think that these players would want to get this done in regulation. This ball is played up towards Porta. Out comes Kump, and he'll miss-hit that. But Dan, to be fair, I love overtime. I do. And my camera operators.
Over the last 3 or 4 months, I have sat through a multitude of overtime and shootout type games at all levels of the soccer pyramid, whether that be youth club or high school, UPSL, USL League 2, USLW League, you name it.
So the soccer hydration break The water hydration break here in the second half is taking place here right now. Appreciate you all stopping by, checking out what we're put out here at Krensler Stadium here in Cleveland, Ohio. Again, home of the Guardians, Cavaliers, and the Browns. We were talking on the way up here, Dan, about how there was a name change here a few years back for a Major League Baseball team, formerly known as the Indians, now the Guardians.
And I still call them the Indians.
Well, it's going to be hard now. I mean, it's just like with Washington, right? It's kind of hard to change. And I do believe they're changing their name from the Commanders to something else. They haven't announced what that is yet, right?
Not sure if they're going to.
It's my understanding that they're trying to change the name again.
You know, for a long time ago, in Major League Baseball, Washington, D.C. had the Washington Senators. That team went away, I believe, in the early 1970s, but they came back here about 25 years ago. The Washington Nationals.
My audio check here, our audio check here, Dan, just looked at me with those eyes that said we are not, no overtime.
Yeah, no overtime is quite.
I mean, I felt those eyeballs penetrating my soul. I have no control over it, everybody in the press box. We have no control over what players do and do not do on the field. Well, joking aside, it's still 1-1 here in Cleveland. Both these teams looking to punch their ticket into a UPSL National semifinal here in 2 weeks. And a national championship opportunity 2 weeks from today at Highmark Stadium in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
What a journey just to get to the Elite Eight here. The Rochester FC has won 4 postseason games, and the New York Renegades have won 5 postseason games. But heading into this match, again, we talked about this in the pregame, the two teams are 28-0-1 on the season. So as we've seen this game play out, it's been a very even game at times. Rochester FC had that goal back in the 28th minute. Ali Sibity. And then Rodrigo Escurio entered the equalizer in the 51st minute for the New York Renegades. So we're at a 1-1 tie here in the later stages of the second half.
All played inside. That was Johannes Alexander, who must have came in during that water hydration break. So number 8, Johannes Alexander, has now stepped on the pitch here for the Renegades. Trying to see who he took off. Well, it looks like Carriel's playing out wide now, so my guess is that Rodrigo Descalzo stepped off and Alexander stepped on in his place.
Descalzo had the equalizer. Looks like his night is done.
Rivas up this near side, defended by Dreyer. Plays it back to Flores. Flores, good move. Gets by Mata. Look to go inside. It's Mata looking for Sidibe. Tracking it down is Campos, and cleared out one time by Kevin Shannon. Woods makes a meal of that first touch. Good work by Dreyer, and now Rochester will maintain possession. On that far side.
Dylan Woods for the New York Renegades. They've been rotating him either on the right outside or in the midfield in the central part. He drew the assist on the game-tying goal back in the 51st minute.
Looks like Messafint Ellingson is also in now for Rochester, number 17. So they substituted as well during that break. Again, we're not given that information at the time of. So we try to do our best to keep you up to date with any substitutions that take place here during the game. I believe Renegades have used 5 of their subs in this game. I believe Rochester has used 3 of theirs.
And the heat and energy could have a factor here late in the game. Some of the starters might start to wear down a little bit.
That ball up over the top there for Porto. He's got Woods making the run here on this near side. Woods, dummy, plays it back. Now a shot up and over from Rivas.
So 5th shot of the second half of the Renegades over the goal. 9th shot overall. The New York Renegades now have a 9-8 edge on total shots. Both teams trading off 5 shots on frame so far in this match.
It's the ball. Good move. Let's get past Woods and now Rayleigh. All played inside. Good work by Pollard. Pollard pushes it out wide to Ellingson. Ellingson slots it down towards top of the 6. Cleared up and out. Settled down by Moran.
The ball again was set in the directions of Ali Sibidi. Stand out forward for Rochester FC, but he's been tightly marked here in the second half.
Officially in the 82nd minute. So 8 minutes plus stoppage time. I'd expect to see at least 3 or 4 more minutes of stoppage time again. We saw 5 minutes in the first half. Up this near side into Woods. He'll play it back. Oh, Caceres makes a heavy touch. Rayleigh now has the ball. He'll come back. Oh, through the legs. Rayleigh still on the ball. Finally, he'll go down. And now a free kick coming up here for Rochester. Samuel Caceres made a mistake on that touch. Rayleigh gets it back, then goes through the 5-hole. And then draws the foul just outside the 18.
It's a great opportunity. Just left of the goal, but right on the 19-yard mark. Just over a yard outside of the box. So great opportunity coming up with a set piece for Rochester FC. They've only attempted 2 shots in the second half, 1 on frame, so should be the best scoring chance for the gentleman in the white and green here late in the second half. We're still at a 1-1 stalemate.
So Rayleigh stands over this once again. As well as Nick Swanger. It's a 5-man wall. Rayleigh steps up and puts it over. It was actually AJ Zarcone that stood over that with him.
Try bending that around the wall. It was just a couple yards too high. So it sailed out of harm's way.
And, you know, something that the reality of these types of games, Dan, we talk about all the time, is it's sometimes not about what you do, it's about what the other team doesn't. And we're going to
be a card.
A yellow card comes out. I believe that's the first yellow card of the afternoon for Rochester. I believe it was number 2. Got number 2, Kyle Pollard, getting the yellow card here in the 84th. But Dan, what I was talking about there is that mistake by Caceres, right? Sometimes this is about what you can create. You're taking advantage of what somebody else has done wrong in that moment. That's what Rayleigh did, right? A heavy first touch from Caceres. That touch led to Rayleigh getting an opportunity where he ends up getting the foul. Now, you can look at those moments in this game and say, hey, well, what moments have been created or have by their team have maybe a mistake, and so far both teams have capitalized today off of the other team's mistakes.
You know, that previous foul against Rochester, just their first foul of the entire second half.
Ball out wide, puts it inside. Touched by Woods. Now Rivas. That one's blocked. And now a hard foul being called.
It's the 12th foul of the night against the New York Renegades. Looks like another yellow card coming out. I believe, Jonathan, that was number 5. Cesar Alzaguera.
Alzaguera gets the yellow card. It's number 5 for the Renegades.
So that yellow card coming in the 85th minute. So the last 5 minutes in stoppage time coming up. Both teams would love nothing more than to end this game late.
Foul was just called there by the assistant referee on that far side.
The offside flag went up, so looks like offsides is the call.
All played up, and that's cleared away defensively by A.J. Zarcone, and so throw in here on the near side.
So throw in deep in Rochester SC territory.
So Rivas on the ball, down by the end line. Swanger is there defensively. The ball played inside the 18 towards Puerto, and that one cleared out away for a corner.
Just the third corner kick of the match for the New York Renegades, first of the second half. We're now in the 86th minute, so great late game opportunity coming up for New York Renegades.
So Rivas will take this corner. Ball is played in. Top of the 18, now back to Rivas. Rivas puts it inside, back post. And now a bicycle attempt. Rayleigh was right there defensively. And almost connecting Caceres, who had a few moments ago almost gifted one to Rayleigh. Almost bicycle kicked one right into Rayleigh's face. Appreciate the effort, though.
You get late in the game, it's hot, it's humid, you're starting to get tired, and there's not a lot of great chances throughout the course of a match. You have to find ways to try to sometimes manufacture goals. He went for the bicycle kick, was whistled for the foul, but nice effort. I mean,
Heads up, head up, head up.
If there was no player in the vicinity, he might be able to corral that loose ball and put something on target.
Rivas. All played up. Puerto enters the 18. Puerto on his right foot towards the near post. In the 89th minute now, Dan, and we're going to have some stoppage time. I'm not sure how much. But I'm starting to sense there's some air conditioning coming from somewhere. I'm feeling some cold air. It's weird.
Maybe a little bit of wind gusts or breeze coming through the buildings off the coast of Lake Erie.
I've been watching like Lost for the first time. I'm thinking maybe there's like a hatch underneath us or something.
Yeah,
Sidibe down now by the end line. Sidibe, he'll look to slide it across, and it's going to go out for a corner.
So second corner kick of the second half, fourth overall coming up for Rochester SC, as we're now in the 90th minute, 1-1 stalemate. Rochester FC, New York Renegades. Two New York-based teams battling it out here in the heat and humidity. Downtown Cleveland, Ohio.
So Rayleigh will take this corner. Or fifth of the game, as this one is put in. Pops up in the air. That was Swanger, they got a head on it. Now Sidibe. One bicycled away. Right back to the Rochester. Now into Rayleigh. We'll play it back to Moran. Back to Rayleigh. Rayleigh puts this one in towards that back. Bows it in! AJ Zarcone! It's 2-1!
You talk about flair for the dramatic. 90th minute, ball served in the box. The header goal.
The ball coming in from Rayleigh on his left boot. Puts it past Sidibe off the head of AJ Zarcone. It's 2-1 here in favor of the Renegades. I'm sorry, in favor of Rochester.
So just the second shot on frame in the second half, 6 overall. Just seconds before the beginning of stoppage time. Rochester FC able to get the go-ahead goal and put interstate rival New York Renegades on their heels, desperately trying to get a late equalizer.
Ball makes its way to Compost. Now Carriel on that far side. Ball back out to Carriel. Look to put this one into the box. It's Puerto gets a touch. Open net. No, good defensive work off the line. As Dreyer was right there, so now the ball will go out for a corner.
So some late pressure by the New York Renegades, earns a corner kick, trying to find some late game magic.
So the ball is loose, top of the 18. Sidibe will find a way to kind of clear it away, and he'll make his way here towards midfield. He will get there first. Use his left boot and put this up here towards Kevin Shannon. So we're officially in the 3rd minute of stoppage. Ball popped up in the air. Ball loose in the 18. We'll take another look here at the goal. And it's just, we apologize, the replay system's having the heat might be making things speed up a little bit there, Dan.
It looked like Jamison Rayleigh on that serve, and AJ Zarcone, Ellie Sidibe were in the middle of the box, and it was Zarcone who leapt high in traffic to net the go-ahead goal. That was literally seconds before the start of stoppage time. So time is not on the side of the New York Renegades. It trailed Rochester SC 2-1. We're now close to 4 minutes in the stoppage time. So the referee was just looking at his watch. We're in the final minutes.
That's picked up by Rochester. Now Rayleigh. They don't need another goal. They should go to the corner flag. And that's poked out and out for a Renegades throw. Sorry, a Rochester throw. So hard collision in that corner, and now we're going to have the flag go up. Renegades free kick.
So Will the New York Renegades find a way to tie this game up a second time? Will Rochester FC find a way to fend off their opposition and head to the UPSL Final Four in 2 weeks in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania?
So it's like Ibrahim. Kamal Ibrahim is now on the pitch here for Rochester. So now this ball switched to the far side. Carriel. This might be the last opportunity of the game here for the Renegades. While looking to go to Porto. It's now last touched off of Kyle Pollard. I'm actually going to say it was a Rochester ball. But one back now by the Renegades. Carriel.
That sun is sitting just above the skyline, Cleveland, Ohio, so it's very difficult to read the jersey numbers at this time.
Caceres puts it one into the 18. Referee looked at his watch. It's a half volley off the post! It hit off the crossbar!
Off the top part of the crossbar, if that's 3 or 4 inches down.
It was dipping, Dan. I don't think
that was
that company even saw that was going to be on frame, but it dipped just below and hit off the crossbar.
So 5 minutes.
So close.
5 minutes in the stoppage time, and corner kick coming up for the New York Renegades. This might be the last opportunity of the game to find a way to tie this game.
So the ball is put in. It's headed away, top of the 18, put right back in the mix, and now cleared away. And Rochester, New York has punched their ticket into the national semifinals.
You talk about a nick of time. They scored literally seconds before the beginning of stoppage time. We saw about 5 to 6 minutes of stoppage time, but AJ Zarconi leaps high in traffic, nets the go-ahead goal, which turns out to be the game winner in the 90th minute. And Rochester SC, exhausted players starting to celebrate. It's been a long journey, 3.5-month season, close to 400 teams across the country, battling out in different conferences and divisions in those conferences. And after tonight, the Final Four table will be set. There is one more game out on the West Coast. It's taking place here tonight. But one of those slots will belong to Rochester SC out of Rochester, New York.
So Rochester, New York has come away with a 2-1 victory here on this Sunday evening to punch their ticket to the national semifinals coming up at Highmark Stadium on August the 9th. They will be receiving a trophy here in a moment, so we'll continue to provide that coverage here from Krenzler Stadium here in Cleveland, Ohio. But Dan, an overall really hard-fought match between both these teams, and you know, I mean, let's talk about that final goal. And Dan, I mean, we do have the replay of the goal. We'll put it back up on your screen here. Pushed off our halftime bug as well, our match bug, and pushed that one back in. But here, and I apologize, continues to kind of fast forward through, but you can just continue to see just that beautiful ball that was put through.
Jamison Rayleigh with assists on both goals for Rochester SC. Again, on the left side, he sent that serve into the middle of the box. AJ Zarconi and Ellis Sibby were there in the middle part of the box, but it was AJ Zarconi leaping high to head it home for Rochester, New York. Just a nick of time again. Just literally seconds before the beginning of stoppage time. We did see about 5 minutes of stoppage time at the tail end of the second half, but Rochester only had 4 shot attempts, 2 on frame the entire second half. That second one finds the back of the net. It is the game winner. It is the one that will send Rochester SC into the UPSL Final Four for the summer 2024 campaign.
That it will is, again, Rochester will receive a trophy here in just a few moments. We do want to appreciate you stopping by here and watching this quarterfinal matchup tonight. If you haven't already done so, hit that subscribe button, like us, and share this with your friends and family. And get ready for the national semifinals coming up here in just 2 weeks. Just can't say enough, Dan, about this game. It was a good game. It had just about everything. It had physicality. And obviously the weather was a factor. These teams were, but we didn't see a ton of cramping in this game. That's one thing I would say we did not see a ton of. You saw it at times, but nothing like maybe you could have expected with the heat.
And then with Rochester having that 2-1 advantage, the New York Renegades able to clank one off the top of the crossbar. It was dipping. If that shot was a couple of yards further out, it would have forced overtime. It was just a game of inches. It was not on the side of the New York Renegades. Rochester FC just 6 shots on target the whole game. 10 shots overall, but they have found a way to put 2 in the back of the net. And on the UPSL bracket, Rochester FC out of New York State is Pittsburgh bound in 2 weeks for the UPSL Final Four.
As Rochester make their way over here to this near side to their supporters who made the trip out here some 3.5 hours to get here this afternoon.
All smiles for the gentleman in the white and green from Rochester, New York. It's kind of funny, but there are several Rochesters across the country. I actually live in Rochester Hills, Michigan, right next door to Rochester, Michigan. I know there's a Rochester, Illinois down by Springfield, a Rochester, Indiana, northern Indiana. Another one in eastern Ohio. I believe there's one out in New Hampshire. But on the soccer pitch, it's Rochester, New York in celebratory mode as their UPSL franchise will be one of the 4 teams still standing after tonight. Again, they are punched their ticket to the dance floor in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
So as the supporters are yelling for their coaching staff to make the way over on the side.
The coaching staff over on the east side of the pitch have joined their team, and Rochester FC celebrating with their few dozen fans that made the 3.5-hour track again from Rochester, New York, as now they head back towards the bench and to accept their trophy of making the Final Four here in 2024. So that is postseason win number 5 on the season as Rochester FC improves to 14-0-1. The New York Renegades, their opponent, finishes the year 15-1-0. This is their only defeat, and they lost in the waning minutes of the second half here on the campus of Cleveland State University in downtown Cleveland, Ohio.
As the players take their time to get all the way out there.
It is quite a journey, though, Jonathan. You think about it, it's a lot like small college athletics. Not a lot of big budgets. These teams have to find a way to put together a conference schedule, usually within their state or within a couple states as their neighbors. And then they battle through the preliminary rounds of the postseason to try to get to the Elite Eight stage, which was here today at Cleveland State. But after later tonight, only 4 teams will be left in the grand field of the UPSL.
Over 400 teams nationwide make up the UPSL, the largest men's amateur league in the nation. Has the likes of MLS sides and their academy teams, along with many others across the country.
We come from Michigan. There's a few dozen UPSL teams scattered across the lower peninsula of Michigan.
Detroit United, one of those teams, are coming out of the Midwest East Conference, made their way and lost last week against the Renegades 4-1.
So that was a round of 16 matchup. You know, you watch sports over the years, so you love the one-game elimination tournaments, whether that be in college, high school, amateur leagues, semi and pre-professional levels, but it's the reality. One team will advance, one team will go home. And as visiting New York Renegades have trotted back to the locker rooms on the north end of the stadium, the victorious Rochester FC is still celebrating near their bench in midfield, as each player is receiving a medal from the UPSL League officials. And here in about another 60 seconds or so, the trophy will be unveiled and raised high on the beautiful turf field here at Cleveland State University.
You see Daniel Bucci and then Eli Siddiby getting the last 2 remaining medals prior to the coaches receiving theirs. And then they'll hoist the trophy. So now the trophy presentation. Trophy is handed to number 3 and Zach Dreyer as the players step around. Only we had the ability to hear what was going on that far side, Dan.
Yeah, so on the far side, there is no public address announcer or scoreboard here tonight, but nevertheless, Rochester FC out of Rochester, New York, is hoisting that trophy high with the skyline of downtown Cleveland, Ohio, just about a half mile behind them. Rochester FC, proud members of the UPSL Final Four here in 2 weeks. Those 2 semifinals will be played on Friday. The championship match will be played on Sunday here downtown Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. So 2 years ago, the National Finals Four was in Columbus, Ohio. Last year was in Leesburg, Virginia, about 30 miles northwest of Washington, D.C. And in 2 weeks, the UPSL Final Four stage again in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Those semifinal games coming up in 12 days.
We want to thank you for stopping by here on this Sunday evening to watch the UPSL National quarterfinal matchup between the New York Renegades and Rochester, New York. I want to thank our production crew and Ryan Gagnon and Phoebe Gagnon, our camera operators this afternoon. I want to thank our audio tech and Zoe and our switch operator and Brianna and our technical director, Nathan. My name's Jonathan Turner alongside my broadcast partner, Dan Stickrat. Thank you for stopping by here for one final time. Your final score here from Krensler Field at Cleveland State University, Cleveland, Ohio. The Renegades FC 1 and Rochester, New York 2. For all of us here at the Michigan Soccer Network, we want to say thank you for stopping by. Subscribe, like, and share the UPSL YouTube channel. And we'll see you next time for more soccer. So long, everybody. Towards goal. Now Fisher recollects. This one in now. Boy, stop! How's the speed? He's got Dawson inside. Puts it back post. Now there's up and in! It still loose inside the box. Now a rear in! Up and in! Back down by the inlet. Slot across. Goal right to Clemenson. Clemenson left foot. Oh, what a foot save. Shot by Mimi. Saved by Alvarado. Another loose ball and in! Ortega gets a head on it. Ball just kind of settles down. And now look at this. Pearson will fire.